Welcome back, everybody. We are Coach Talk. Hi, LJ.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I am very, very well. And today we're going to do a very quick podcast because we are remote again. I woke up this morning and I thought about something as soon as I woke up, and I thought, I'm just going to call LJ and we're going to talk about something that's just, a little bit interesting. Are you ready for something you haven't discussed yet?
I love it when you throw me in the deep end. Let's go. Let's jump. Let's jump.
Yeah, let's jump. I like to jump, but free falling's a really good thing. So this goes back to a story I probably put on Facebook a few years ago.
Okay.
Way back, early in my coaching days. And we'll go through it again. And I thought it was relevant at the moment with people coming up to Christmas and people coming up to a lot of things happening in our world at the moment. So I'll tell you a bit of a story, and then from there let's maybe pull it apart a little bit and have a bit of a chat and see how we go. And just a quick unpack. It's only going to be a quick podcast. So are you keen for that?
I'm keen for that. I love story time with Dave.
You need that sort of music in the background, like dun 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 dun. So today, once upon a time, and welcome to Story Time with Dave. So, okay, here's my story. As you know, I love my motorbike riding, and I travel everywhere on my bike, which is fantastic, and I just think it's great. And I was on a trip a few years ago, and what I like to do is, during my trips, I stop for, drum roll, coffee, because I love my coffee.
So unlike you.
Yeah, I know. So I stopped for a coffee, and when I'm on a bike, I seem to do the same thing every time. It's a bit of a habit. I find a nice parkland or rotunda or somewhere, but wherever I land on the bike, I stop. I prop and stop. And I normally sit against a brick wall or sit against a tree or sit on the footpath, and I just make it really simple. Yep. So I bought a coffee and I had a bit of food, and I'm sitting in this remote country town against a brick wall. I think it might have been near the bakery that I was at. And I was sitting there, and this bull ant was coming towards me, and it was quite a large, nasty looking, don't mess with me type bull ant. And I thought, this is going to be interesting. So my knees were up. So I had my knees up. I've got the coffee on the side there, and I'm just watching this bull ant walking straight at me. And I thought, here we go. And she wanted to walk under my legs, and I thought, not today. So I gave him a bit of a flick, which I suppose my size versus the size of a bull ant, not a really good thing.
That's still a gutsy move.
Yeah, it's a pretty gutsy move, because I know when it comes down to it, probably he'd win and I would lose. But I flicked him, and away he went. So he's turned around and he's came back to go under my legs, and I'm thinking, come on. This whole wide world, you can go somewhere else. Just leave me alone. But he came back. So I flicked him again. Off he tumbled. And he came back again. So after a couple of flicks, and I thought, I'm just going to leave him be, and I'm just going to watch what he does. My safety. So he then continued to walk under my legs, and he came out the other side, and I watched him go right past me into a crack in the wall, and he disappeared, and he was gone.
That's one very determined ant.
That is one very determined ant. And it made me realise there and then, and this is the crux of our small podcast today, that he had persistence. He didn't give up, even though he had huge adversity. I was the adversity to this bull ant, and he would see me as massive. But he kept pushing, and it made me realise that in your life, what is in the way is the way.
Yes, I love this story because, thank you so much for sharing. One thing that we know is we all hit those test points where your resolve for your outcome is going to be, put to the test.
Yeah.
And I think this was a great example of that the ant, there was no way, didn't matter what happened, whether you flicked him, whether the twig got in the way, whatever, he was on mission and he went through. The only way forward is through.
Yeah, definitely. I looked at that, and we've studied this. We've done some studies on what is in the way is the way, because generally people tend to find an obstacle in their life, or whatever it is, and they will try to go around it. And most often than not, you can't. It's hard to go around something that is blocking you, because it will always be there. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's interesting that I know the ant story and everything else with us as well. If something is in your way, whatever it is, whether it be a simple thing like a simple task at home or something job related, personal related, you have to bust through that to come out the other side. And then that gives you the freedom and the opportunity to keep on going forward. So I found that
Mm.
that was, and this, the awareness I had just purely from this ant was amazing. I sat there and had a bit of a laugh to myself and a bit of a smile and thought, I've just been taught a really good lesson by a bull ant, which was which part of the motorbike trip, because I do say to everyone I talk to when I travel on the bike is that it's not getting from A to B, it's the experiences along the way that create my journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is
Absolutely.
same with life. So, and I had a great experience on that one because I gave myself a lot of awareness just by looking at an ant, which was really good. So I did a little bit of research this morning just when I woke up, and I thought I'm just going to have a bit of a look. I've got lots and lots and lots of books and notes and bits and pieces, and I flicked around a bit, and I found something interesting in relation to what we are talking about. And part of this, I'm going to read you an excerpt I found, LJ, and I want to unpack just one phrase in this whole paragraph that I'm going to read you because it's something I actually haven't myself realised as much as I want to going forward. And if I
Hmm.
can assist anybody else in doing this as well, and it's really, really, for me this morning, it's quite a powerful line that I read. So if you can bear with me, I've just got about 5 or 6 lines to read you, and if you're happy, we can unpack it from there.
Absolutely. Love to share.
Okay, thank you. So what I found is an excerpt. It's what is in the way is the way embodies the idea that obstacles and challenges are not barriers to success, but rather integral parts of the journey, as we know. So, embracing difficulties as opportunities for growth and learning can lead to transformative experiences, pushing us to discover our strengths and resilience. This philosophy encourages a mindset shift, fostering adaptability and perseverance in the face of adversity. Ultimately, it suggests that the path forward often emerges from navigating through rather than avoiding the obstacles in our lives. Now, what I like about all of this and what I've just read is there's a small add in brackets here when it says fostering adaptability and perseverance in the face of adversity, and in brackets, that is learning through adversity.
Yes. Or if we could add another name to it, it is testing your resourcefulness.
100%. It is. So it's interesting how, and I've done it. I know everyone's done it. You've done it. Everybody has done it. When you come across something that is going to test your resourcefulness, or it's going to push you outside your comfort zone, or it's an adversity in some shape or form, we are tempted to go, oh, forget it. I give up. I'm just not going to do this. I don't want to do this now or ever. And it just sits there and it sits there and it sits there. And I know a lot of people I talk to, they mention, I did this and I succeeded in doing that. And quite often the picture is painted that they just sailed along and they did this so easily and it was great. I'd love to explore and ask people actually, how did you learn and push through the adversity side of things? And how did you go through it instead of trying to get around it? Because I know
Mm.
when we try to get through, we as in people, try to get through anything, we will come across some form of adversity that is going to challenge us, is going to possibly hold us back. It's going to stretch us. And I didn't think about it in that sense where I know what is in the way is the way, but quite often in a simple form, in even a watered down form, it could be some form of adversity that we've got to push through and come out the other end. And I just liked how it said learning through adversity. So we're taking learnings through this. We're taking feedback through this. We're moving forward. And I know I read a while ago, it's regardless, it doesn't matter how fast you go. It's just that you keep moving, even if
It's
you're,
the consistency.
yeah, it's a consistency in going at a slow pace. So moving forward, forward, forward. And that's a great key to success. But moving forward, we are going to have some form of adversity, challenges. It's going to stretch us. It's going to get us to dig deep into our pockets and come out with our resources and use those to get next level. And I thought about it and I thought, you know what, every time in my life I've come across something where I need to push through, there is an element of adversity involved in that. Have I learnt from that? Or have I taken the path of least resistance and I'm not going to do this, I'm
Yeah.
not interested, which I have.
That's a great point, because
Yeah,
often when people take the path of least resistance, and I don't know how many people, and me myself, when I've got hit certain points, you go, oh my God, it's happened again,
yeah,
because you didn't kind of learn it the first time. You took the easy road, or you missed the lesson. There's a reason why things keep cropping back up in your world. It's like same but different, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah,
And I think our resourcefulness is always needing to be challenged. And some people, like I was listening to when you were saying the fail word, fail forward. So for me, fail means find an inner light, which means find that extra spark that lights within you to go through.
yeah, yeah. I like that. People get this, they get this negative impression when they hear the word fail.
They do, and it's really sad, because we are actually, that's how we learn.
Yeah,
As we're not born walking and talking. We have to, we spend, depending on how quick you are, we're infants. We have to rely on somebody else for our care and our nurturing.
yeah,
Then we learn to be on our stomach and hold our heads up, and then crawl and scrabble around the floor, and then stand holding on. So there's processes that we have to go through in order to learn. But as part of those processes, we fall, we hit our head,
yeah,
we take a step and we stumble, but that's okay, because that's all part of what I term biofeedback. It's
mm,
going, oh, well, I'll try that again. So it's training the body and the soul, I guess, from a perspective, to know that it's okay to take a step. It's okay to stumble. If you've got good people around you, you'll be okay. But keep going, keep moving forward. We are designed to actually keep moving forward, which is why our feet face forward, and
yeah,
we don't have hooves, or where we're multi-directional.
yeah, yeah. I like that, and I like that our feet are designed to face forward. I like that, and the good thing about failing, and that's once again, I say it all the time. This is another podcast, but failing is a great thing. And one thing I've delivered in public speaking in previous years is when you fail huge. Like, take the learnings from it and actually enjoy the fact that you've had a fail where people go, oh my God, it's just happened. I can't handle this. But fail huge, because there's so many learnings from this, and then you get growth from that. I know when
Yeah,
I've mentored people and they've mentioned they've had a big fail or something hasn't worked for them, and
celebrate it.
yeah, exactly. One question I've asked guys when you can see their face drop and they're like, "Oh, I just really tanked that," and I have asked people, "Are you having fun yet?" And I get the same look like, "No," and this is terrible. But they get surprised when I say, "Are you having fun yet?" No. Okay, so that's okay. But when we talk about fail, tell me something that's really good, or something that's really epic that's come out of what, just in your perception, you've failed at. And then the light bulb moment happens. Well, actually, I now can do this, or I now know how to do that, or whatever it is, and they're back on track again, just because they've had a fail, a bit of growth, and then they're going forward again. So the fail side of things is not too bad. But you did mention learn the lesson.
Learn the lesson.
Learn the
Yeah. So
lesson.
for me, if I can share that,
Yeah.
when, like, life throws curveballs, and we joke in my family that most people call us very stubborn, because once we get hold of things, in terms of a direction that we want to travel, we're very steadfast in getting there. Like, we enjoy the journey and everything, but the
Yeah.
goal remains the goal. But I like to say that it's strongly determined, because you don't have to understand what makes me go that way, but I'm strongly determined. So I'll hit no roadblocks, and I'm a silver lining kind of girl, as you know. So for me, roadblocks are either a lesson or a blessing,
Yeah.
and often they're both. And if we come from that perspective of what did I learn, you can celebrate, because you're like, wow, I learnt that. And you can celebrate the fact that you had more resourcefulness, and you drew on strength, grit, talent, skills that you weren't aware that you had
Yeah.
to help you rise above the challenge or the sticking point to go forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I 100% agree. And forward is an operative word today. It's a great thing in going forward. And yeah, thank you for sharing. I think that's really cool. And I did read, and I want your perspective on this, LJ. I did read recently, and it sits well with me. Learning the lesson, if you don't repair, it will repeat.
Yes, that's exactly what we've just been talking about. Because
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you know, it'll come up again because there's something in that you're meant to put on your tool belt
yeah,
for the next part of the journey.
yeah,
Because, like, I say, happiness is the way we travel. It's never the end point or the destination.
yeah,
And part of this journey that we have is about accumulating skills and resources, and some people call them talents, so that when we hit roadblocks or sticking points or detours, whatever your terminology is around it, or fail points, you have something to draw on
yeah.
that gets you to the next point.
Yeah, it's all about, in your mind, is start to make a strategy, start to look at where you're at, have that awareness of the sky's not falling, it's not the end of the world, things are not crashing down around you. Have that awareness of, I can do this, I can make a plan. If I need to change my direction, I can do that. But learning the lesson, repair or repeat, is so important, which takes us back, and we're rewinding now, is what are your learnings through your adversity in this experience, in this context? If something's happened to you when you're stuck right there, learn through that adversity what is in the way. That is the way. Put on your boxing
That's the
gloves,
way.
and I'm a boxing guy. Put on your boxing gloves and start punching, push through it, and figure out a way with your strategies, with your planning. If and you said a great thing earlier, when you have great people around you that can give you advice, give you support, they are there in your corner, that helps you so much when you've got the right people there to help you. Use the people around you to help you push through where you need to be. If you haven't got the right people around you, then start looking. Look for people that can help you get where you want to be. Push through it. What is in the way is the way. What do you
Yeah.
think the most important thing is that you should do once you push through it and you break through the barrier?
Keep going. Just
Keep going.
focus forward. Just acknowledge that was a challenge, but more importantly, acknowledge how you got there, how you
Yeah.
pushed through, because that's what you need to take away from the challenge. I'm not somebody, and I know that in our modern world we like to go back and rehash things,
Yeah.
but I'm not somebody who, not that I don't go back, I don't live in that space because I can't change it. I don't want to keep those emotions rehashing, because it's actually going to stop me from moving forward if I'm stuck in a moment in that I can't change.
Yeah.
So fall forward, always go forward.
Yeah, love it. Falling forward. And one thing we always talk about with people, and I believe people don't do it enough because they're not taught how to do this, is when they achieve something in their life, celebrate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they tried this in schools. I know when in schools, it was a little while ago, they used to have the PBs for the kids. Like,
Yep.
everyone got a ribbon for PBs.
Yep.
Don't agree with everybody getting ribbons, but I do agree with the fact that you go, wow, I actually did that better than I thought. I
Yeah.
actually achieved that. The principle was good, but I think the follow through with the everybody gets a ribbon wasn't so good. But
Yeah.
the recognition of personal achievement is so important, because they're the little milestones along the way. They're those consistent steps that help you see that you've come a long way. I know when you and I have talked about this before, looking back in 12 months' time,
Yeah.
look how far we've come. Look at the things that have happened in the space that we're both in, and what we've had to deal with, and the adversity. And 12 months ago, you probably didn't really have an idea that life would be this good.
Yeah.
And then in 12 months' time, it'll be that much better again. Regardless of where you end up, it'll be better because of what you've learned along the way.
Absolutely. Enjoying the journey along the way as well, which is so important. And I know we talk about celebrating a lot in our podcasts, but I think it's one pivotal thing that we need to keep reinforcing, because it does create that neural pathway in your brain. When you do something good, you celebrate it, you feel good about that, so then you want to go and do something good again, because you will celebrate it and you will feel good about it, and it keeps going around and around and around. So the celebration side of things, you don't have to go out and buy a new car or book an overseas trip. It's just something for you that reminds you that you've done something good and you are rewarding yourself for it. Something as simple as have a nice cup of tea with a bit of fruitcake and spend half an hour just on the couch, or have an extra long hot shower, or anything.
Do a happy dance, favourite music,
Do you know
catch
how
up
many
with a
people do
friend.
happy dances? I love that. Do a happy dance in your kitchen.
Happy
Just
dance.
put some music on, and I like the happy dance thing.
Happy dances are good. Like dance, what is it? Dance in the rain like nobody's watching. I think that should be we should teach kids that right from the get go, because we are, as much as we are on a journey together, it's very much an individual journey, and
Yeah.
part of going through and the resourcefulness and having the right circle around us. Something that just came up when you mentioned the circle is, how do we know it's the right circle?
Yeah.
Because even if the people around you don't agree with what you're doing, they will still support you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their perspective, you can, they'll say take it or leave it, but this is my way in on it. But either way, I'm good and I'm here for you. That's a good circle.
That's a good circle. You don't have to have everyone in your circle that agrees with everything you do, because suddenly you've got this relatability of you've cloned yourself to other people. Diversity is a great thing.
How boring would it be if we were all the same?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
love the people in your world who can celebrate you and give you, play the devil's advocate, because you need people like that.
Yeah,
Fresh eyes
absolutely.
are fresh eyes.
Absolutely. So if we just recap on our nice short podcast today, what is in the way is the way. Push through, learn through
Push
your
through.
adversity, use your resourcefulness, which is a wonderful phrase, LJ, and thank you for that one. That's really great. Learn the lesson. If you don't repair, it will repeat. So it's amazing how just through on an ant story, and I can ask people out there, do you want to be the ant or do you want to be the blockage?
The obstacle. Yeah.
Obstacle. I was the obstacle. I was sitting on the ground. I was it, just sitting there, immovable, and I'm causing disruption to something else. Do you want to be the obstacle? Do you want to be the ant? Just be persistent, be resilient, keep pushing. And for me, I'd like to be the ant, because he just kept going and he finally had to win. He hasn't got the intellect of humans, so I doubt he's going to go through his crack in the wall and celebrate. I may be wrong, I don't know, but I don't think the ant's going to celebrate, but you know what I mean. So at the end of every podcast, we do have a challenge, which I love the challenges. And our challenge for this podcast is really, really easy. And you can probably see it coming. For people out there, choose one small thing at the moment that is in your way, whatever it is, right? And a simple one for could be, there's a whole pile of washing that needs to be done, and it's just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. What is in the way is the way. Put the washing in the machine, turn the machine on, hang it out, and then celebrate. It's a really simple story, but what is in your way at the moment? Choose something small, which you would normally sit on, procrastinate with, take no action. Just find something easy. Get it done. Take action. Get it done. Once you've done that, it is time to celebrate. And
Absolutely.
yeah, find something easy to celebrate it with. It could be your cup of coffee, your cup of tea. It could be taking time out to go for a nice walk. It could be doing your happy dance. It could be calling a friend you haven't spoken to for. It could be anything. If it's something epic, go gold class and book some movie tickets, but do the celebration, because that's so important to end your process of pushing through and getting something out the way by pushing through it. So do the challenge. Let LJ and I know how you went. Feel free to jump online, email us, and let us know how you go with that, because we love hearing from you. And
Do love hearing from
we
you.
do love hearing from you, and we do get great feedback from people that we interact with and talk to. So please let us know how you go with that. Make sure you do celebrate the win. LJ, our website.
Our website is Coach Talk, which is TORQUE
Yeah.
at .com.au, and I'm going to add just a little song in there for you to celebrate too. There's a song called I Go Through, and it's by a band called OAR, which is OAR. Great song for you to celebrate going through your challenges.
I Go Through by OAR. I'm going to jump on now and find that because I haven't heard that song, so you obviously know it.
I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to I'll see if we can pop it on the website so that everybody else can enjoy it. I think it's a great song about the topic we've done.
That is a gold nugget. Thank you so much for that. And also our podcast platforms and where you can reach us on our social media are
Spotify, Apple Play Store, Amazon, and YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
YouTube.
We are. So
we're on Insta, and so just drop us a line. We love hearing from you, and have the best week. Check in next week.
Have the best week. LJ, thanks for your insights. You are epic. Thank you for talking to me, and I will talk to you and everybody else soon. Have a great one.
Have a great one, everyone.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye now.